Sports betting brother, and hey, bring it up, and thanks for stopping by. My name is Boyd. I'm a sports betting market analyst with OddsJam.com. We teach you how to bet like a pro. Today's topic is, is it all about the picks, in sports betting to make money? Not necessarily. It's really more about probability and price, and we're going to get into that and show you how and why mathematically this makes sense, and why all the tools at OddsJam do it for you. So let's take a look. All right, guys, let's jump right into it. And again, we're going to talk about the profits and the profitability of using the data-driven tools at OddsJam. But a lot of sports bettors think, oh, I just need to make the right picks. I need to be able to pick the winners, and that's definitely a big part of it. There's no doubt about it. But a bigger point that everyone's missing and everyone seems to not get is the fact that it's more about price and probability and the markets. Okay, if you're trying to always get the correct picks, you're really trying to predict the future, and something that's really, really difficult to dial into consistently. And because in addition to that, you're getting probably a bad price and not understanding the markets. You're sort of counterproductive and going against yourself. So let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, guys, before we jump into some of the tools and some of the resources that OddsJam provides, first I want to start out by saying that if you understand the fact that sports betting is just like a markets-driven approach where you're trying to always buy low and sell high, I mean, you're trying to get the absolute best price in your selections, at your sports books, things like that, you're going to come out ahead mathematically. And, the sports books are going to try to have different promotions that get you into that are not profitable, don't provide a mathematical edge. And a lot of times, they perceive it as, some get-rich-quick scheme to where, people are just making tons of money overnight and it's an instant success. But it's really a grind. It's really a mathematical grind. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's definitely achievable. But I think a lot of times the public perception of what reality is just not there, which feeds right into the sports books. Profitable sports betting really is about three things. It's about the process, the probability, and the price. And if you can hone in on your process, which understanding the markets and where the value is in the markets, and again, based on the market making sports books, and then finding an edge, finding a profitable edge with other sports books that are mispriced or have outlier pricing on bets you can make, is really where it's at. So you have the process, you have the probability, and you have that percent edge, that percentage and profitability edge is really where it's all at. You do that once, you do it over and over and over again as many times as you can, and through the law of large numbers, you're going to profit come out ahead. You're essentially flipping the script on the sports books where you have the edge and not them. Okay, so I mentioned the process, but let's back up a little bit and first talk about probability and price. And it goes back to the old coin flip thing, right? Coin flip, 50-50. 50-50. There's no edge. However, if you did it like the sports books do at minus 110, and you had a person on the other side at even 100, that edge, that house edge, is about 5%. Going back and forth. So you can imagine if you take that edge and you put it on your side, and doing that in the process, and doing that in finding and identifying profitable positive EV bets, positive expected value bets, that's how you get on the right track to profiting consistently. So here we go. Let's take a look at the odds. Okay, guys, here's where we put it all together. Now on the screen here, you can see the positive expected value page. Positive expected value is the percent edge. It's a very high edge here at 8.67. Typically, if you have something above 2%, that's pretty nice. But for the sake of the video here, 8.67 is what the calculated edge is in the markets that OddsJam has done here. So you can see here at FLIF, they're at minus 105. So what you do is you take the market making sports book. So in this case, Pinnacle, they're at minus 141. So basically they're saying their probability is at minus 141. And if you go over here to the probability calculator, it's at 51.22 with FLIF. But if you look at the probability of odds for Pinnacle, they're at 58.51. So basically, you're getting this at a much better price, and you have a higher probability based on the market making book. So this is a wager you would add to your bet slip, and you have the market width here of 19. That's really low. That's awesome. That's on a mainline bet of a total. And you could just recommended bet sizes on the Kelly criterion. Kelly criterion is basically when you have a high edge, you're gonna bet up and take advantage of that edge. When you have a lower edge or lower perceived edge, you'll bet down. And I'm scrolling down here. You can see if you were to have, say, a 1.1% edge and you went forward with that particular bet, you would lower your risk amount based on your budget and based on your settings, that what you would put in here in the system. So again, this is how it's all tied together, and the process is doing this over and over again, where you're trying to identify the highest percentage with the highest closing line value. So at the end here, if this thing goes up to say 151 with Pinnacle, you're sitting there holding a minus 105. And you bet up, you're in a really good situation. You put yourself in a good position with your process based on the probability, based on the price, and based on the process. And so again, you would scroll down to the next one and just go through them repeatedly. Now here you can see a lot of great market width. Anything under 20 on a mainline bet, like a point spread, a total, and a spread, or a money line, is really, really good. So here's some really juicy ones here. Now, you have to understand this market's fluid. It changes constantly. So the price may change. It might go up, might go down, whatever the case. But certainly the early bird gets the worm, because, you're not going to go back and get the price if once it goes, it's gone. So I typically recommend you get in early, set yourself up early. And if you have to go back and hedge back out, or do some middling or do some arbitrage, later in the week or later in the day, you can. But you can see this is what OddsJam does. It provides you the percent edge, it provides you the bet, provides you the sports book, provides you the dollar amount you can use to take out the thinking, so you mathematically profit the most and expose yourself to the least amount of risk. And this is just the positive expected value page. This is what it does, again, combining all those processes. So you can see here, you can go to the college football mainline, and you can watch the odds, you can watch the markets change, and you can get an idea of which direction things are going. So again, this would be part of your process to know, hey, I know that, based on what Circa is doing, that they have some, direction of price going up. Maybe I better get in. Maybe I should wait. Whatever the case, based on what the positive expected value is telling you with the tools that OddsJam's providing. So that's how you do it, guys. That's really how you profit. It certainly is about, getting the right side, picking a winner. But I've seen tons and tons of scenarios where a person is picking less than 50% and making a ton of money because they're getting the best price. They're always buying low, and other people are paying much, much higher prices. And then if that bet does happen to lose, they paid more for the loss. Whereas if, at least, in this case, if the bet loses, they paid far, far less. So they're saving tons of money. In this case, let's say you went to this location and paid minus 132 and the bet loses. You're still under this price point with Pinnacle. So that's a nice little savings there, but not nearly as good as this savings. And in the meantime, you would have wasted about $27 on that particular wager individually if you were to, do the minus 105. So, it's not how much you, sometimes not how many correct wagers you get. It's the price point you get, the odds, and the probability, and how you cash out on that. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense. All right, guys, there is the profitability strategy. Really, it's the process, it's the price, and the probability of all those things together, and how you go through and use the tools at OddsJam. It just mathematically makes sense. I want to remind you too, if you want to do an independent phone call, just a kind of a Zoom call to connect on what's going on in your world as far as sports books and your goals of sports betting monetarily, just email me, boyd@oddsjam.com. Set that up. Also too, if you want to get signed up, here's the QR code. Use the QR code to get started, and use Boyd20, BOYD20. It's going to save you 20% off the first 2 months of your subscription at OddsJam to make all those profits. What a better time. Football, basketball, hockey, everything's going on right now. So please use that to get signed up and get going on that. So I appreciate you stopping by. If you have any questions, leave them down below. And as always, let's go make some mathematical money.